So we all know that the NFL offseason is long and arduous, and we got 200 something days until football is back in front of us. But one of the big moments of the offseason is the NFL draft. And so Tanner and myself are here to get a mock draft, an entire first round full of picks. We're just going to walk through it and see where we stumble on, have some debates, hopefully have some agreements, and ultimately we'll fill out the entire first round here. So we're just going to do one round, but we're going to take charge of every team. And normally when I do these, I do them for one team, but we don't have to mess with any of these sliders because we're making all of the picks.
Yep. So, simple pick to start it off, Fernando Mendoza.
Start the draft. Fernando Mendoza, there's really no question here, right? It's got to be Mendoza.
Yeah. Not even a question.
Second pick overall. So Arvell Reese has been trending up pretty quickly on a lot of different places. I don't know how you feel about him or if you have any other targets at the second spot.
I mean, I would say either Arvell Reese there or I guess Ruben Bain, right? Like, you want a pass rusher.
Yeah, I would go with Reese just because he does have that freakish talent potential, and Bain's good. But I mean, like the arm length thing, people are going to talk about it. And I actually posed this question to my buddies the other day, but did Will Campbell kill Ruben Bain's draft stock because they both have T-Rex arms? So let's go with Arvell Reese. Number 3 for the Cardinals. Now, this is where you could start to go different ways because, only God knows what's happening with Kyler Murray. But I mean, this team needs help pretty much everywhere. I think tackle makes sense. I think edge rusher makes sense.
I would go offensive line for sure here.
Offensive line, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we get here, I'll just sort it by tackles. I like Francis as the number 1. Do you have anyone else to put up there?
I would take Francis there for sure. I think the biggest thing for them is like, what are you going to do at quarterback? Do you trust Kyler one more season? Do you move on there? But like, you still need to protect whoever you bring in, and you're either going to hit the open market for a quarterback or you're going to keep Kyler.
So the Titans at number 4. Again, multiple avenues that you could go down. The defense was pretty bad last year, although I do have to say they did generate pressure pretty well. Robert Saleh is a defensive guy, so maybe he looks to build that side. Obviously, you've got Jeffrey Simmons in the middle of the line, so you have a good anchor. Maybe you go get an edge rusher, Ruben Bain to David Bailey. But then you could also say, hey, we spent the first pick in the draft on our quarterback here, and we need to get him some weapons to help him develop, so maybe we go with the receiver. What do you think there?
I mean, you're not going to go running back, tight end. I mean, I think receiver to benefit from the quarterback. I think that's the biggest thing. So potentially Carnell Tate, I would like in that spot. I think you got to help out your quarterback there. And again, if you can help him in multiple ways on the offensive line or from wide receiver, but the Titans really need that high-end wide receiver one that can grow with the young quarterback. For that reason, I would go Carnell Tate. We've seen what drafting a running back early does. And obviously, Jeremiah Love is fantastic, but we saw it last year. If you can't block, if you can't run with the Raiders, like you're going to have a tough time with an early round running back. So I think you go with the wide receiver there or potentially an offensive lineman.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. I actually have Mekhi Lemon as my best receiver in this draft, but I think the way Cam Ward plays, I think it actually just makes more sense for Carnell Tate. Like Cam Ward is a gunslinger. He wants to put that ball down the field. And Carnell Tate being 6'3", being the best contested catch guy in college football, he probably fits better with Cam Ward.
Yeah, I'd go Carnell Tate.
So we'll send him over to the Titans.
The Giants. The combine's going to make a big difference here with all these guys.
For sure, yeah. Because, I mean, if Tate runs 4.6, that's not going to help. But then people are going to say, look at Ted McMillan. He was slow and didn't really matter. He won Rookie of the Year. The Giants, I mean, edge rusher makes sense, but the Giants have every edge rusher in the world already. So they can't – they're almost incapable of taking one here. You could go offensive line. You could also go receiver, which would be fun. You could go Caleb Downs. Harbaugh would probably like that. What are you thinking?
I think offensive line.
Offensive line again.
I mean, you still have Neighbors when he comes back, and you still have Neighbors for the long haul. You need to protect your quarterback long term. I think you go offensive line here.
So that would be Fano, I assume, is who you're rolling with. I think it is going to be a tackle or a receiver. I don't know which one, but it does make more sense to protect the quarterback. So I'm down to take Fano here.
I wonder how Malik Neighbors is going to be coming off the injury.
I think he'll be fine just because he's so young, but you never know.
Never know.
The Browns getting another edge
Why do
rusher
you have
with Miles
quarterback
Garrett
on there?
would be crazy.
Why is quarterback a need?
It is a need.
But like, why is it a need? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how, and it's a new era of Browns football now, obviously, with the new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But we've already talked about how much he loves Shedeur Sanders.
Door, yeah.
You still Dylan Gabriel's short. Dylan Gabriel's not a starting quarterback there. Are you really going to take a quarterback again? You wasted 2 draft picks with a quarterback last year. Are you really going to take a quarterback this year?
There's no way you can. After spending the 2 draft picks and paying Deshaun all that money, you can't take a quarterback here.
You still have Deshaun. Like, Deshaun could still be your starting quarterback at some point. So why is quarterback a need for the Browns? They don't need any other quarterbacks.
So they have Quinshawn Judkins. The offensive line, it is what it is. You know, the defense was amazing. You ended up forcing your defensive coordinator to resign, which is certainly a very Browns thing to do. But I'm looking at this, and I honestly feel like they would go with a receiver here. I feel like they would try, again, same thing, help the young quarterback, but we know you can run the football a little bit. Maybe get him a weapon.
Yeah, or USC, Mekhi Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson? You got a guy you like better of those two?
I'd go Mekhi Lemon. I think he's going to impress some people at the combine too, which is going to help.
He's my number 1 receiver in this class, like I said. So Mekhi Lemon goes to the Browns. The Commies, edge rusher makes a lot of sense, obviously. But
you need defense. You need defense.
I mean, edge rusher makes sense. Caleb Downs makes sense. Sonny Styles makes sense. Mansour Delane makes a lot of sense as well. For me, this kind of positional value thing would say that it has to be an edge rusher. But in this spot, it's basically a bit of a free hit because you need help everywhere. So it's kind of just, to me, which one of these guys do you like the most?
Let's go Ruben Bain.
I feel like if he's there at this spot, I feel like he is going to end up being the pick for them.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason you got to put Ruben Bain there. If he's not available, it'd be David Bailey.
And I'll be honest, I am higher on David Bailey, but that's me just envisioning the best case scenario. I think Bain probably does have a little bit of a higher floor, so we'll go with Bain.
David Bailey played against JV football players, though.
Yeah, but he dominated Oregon.
Still played against JV football players.
The Saints, Tyler Shuck looked pretty good. Defense got a lot better as the year went on. I think you look at this and I think...
What do the guards look like? Go to the guards for a second.
Number 1 is going to be Ola from Penn State.
Yeah, and you could get him. You could get a good guard in the 2nd round there. So you're going to go wide receiver with the wide receivers coming off the board.
Probably Jordan Tyson in this spot.
Probably 8.4. I mean, that's right where he's settling at.
The Chiefs at number 9. Jeremiah Love would be excellent for them.
Yeah.
Take pressure off Mahomes and also give him a pass catcher out the backfield.
That's the pick. Because, I mean, they have a decent offensive line there. You need a wide receiver. I think they go out in free agency, get a wide receiver, and then you draft the running back.
So the Bengals, I think David Bailey's got to be the guy here because Shamar Stewart, I can't believe they drafted him in the 1st round still. He's terrible. And then Trey Hendrickson's probably out of there. So I think it's got to be Bailey.
I think you got to go offensive line to help Burrow.
But the thing is, I don't know that there's somebody good enough to warrant taking 10th overall that's still left on the offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, Bailey's there. You probably grab Bailey. You need offensive linemen, though. If you're
you do. I hope you kind of just got to hope. We're doing this before free agency, so you kind of just got to hope that they have sorted it out in free agency.
Yeah. And again, that changes your needs and all that. So, yeah, go David Bailey because, average ADP is 6.6 if he's still there.
The Dolphins, Jeff Hafley's coming in, defensive guy. Caleb Downs is awesome.
You think Tua is going to be the quarterback next year, though?
I really don't know. It might be Quinn.
You can't go with Quinn.
You're a Quinn guy.
I love Quinn, but you can't go with Quinn.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're taking Ty Simpson at 11.
No. Corner.
Yeah, I
Mansoor,
think it might be
Delane.
Mansoor Delane in this
Yeah,
spot. And then the Cowboys at 12, and I would hate this because I'm a Commanders fan, but Caleb Downs is right there in their lap.
you got to go Caleb Downs there.
That would be so frustrating to me if that is what ends up happening.
Or Sonny
Rams,
Styles. It's Downs or Sonny Styles in that spot, depending on who's available.
the Rams in that trade with the Falcons, it's got to be a tackle for me or a cornerback. But tackle does make sense for them, but they also had a great offensive line last year. So corner, maybe they've got some free agents and like they were cycling guys in. You know, it was a shock to everyone that Emmanuel Forbes was their starter, and then they didn't play him in the first half, I think, against the Seahawks. So I'd probably be going with McCoy here.
Yeah, I'd go McCoy there. Why is quarterback need here too? Like that's another thing.
Because
Like
people think Stafford's going to retire.
he's playing. He already announced it.
Oh, did he? I didn't even say
Yeah,
that.
he said it at the honors.
Oh, well, there
He's
you
like,
go.
I'm coming back. It was such a bad class for the quarterbacks. Next year they'll take a quarterback for sure, but this year, no.
The Ravens have this tendency to kind of just fall into these amazing picks in every draft. They are picking a little higher than where they're used to. I feel like Sonny Styles is just another example of that. Like Sonny Styles is a phenomenal football player, and if you pair him with Roquan Smith in the middle of your defense with Kyle Hamilton roaming around, you could just dominate the middle of the field.
I think you got to go. I'll go Peter Woods.
Peter Woods, interesting. Okay, so this is our first real disagreement. How do we settle this?
Well, if Styles is still there, you probably take him because he's still there.
I don't know. Okay. We'll just, when we have disagreements, we need tiebreakers, we'll just alternate back and forth. So do you want this to be your tiebreaker or you want me to have it?
Me.
All right. So you get this one on Peter Woods and I get the next tiebreaker. Is that good?
Yep.
All right. So Peter Woods goes to the Ravens. The Bucks. Now this makes sense for Sonny Styles as well.
So the Bucks are like in a weird spot because you look at they have talent across their team. The defense is old, but you have talent across your team. Like offensively, they're good. Defensively, they're good. They just didn't put it together. Cade Otton is hitting free agency. I don't think you bring Cade Otton back. I don't think he provides enough value. Can you look at tight ends for me?
It's going to be Kenyon Sadiq, number 1.
Yeah, so you're not going to take him. Stowers, you can get Stowers in the second round. Like I could see them getting Stowers in the second round potentially. Trading up maybe for that. So go Sonny Styles there.
Sonny Styles, edge rusher 2 could help. Keldrick Falk's a weird one because he's an edge rusher, but he's actually kind of a run defense specialist, which actually kind of fits with the Bucks because they want to stuff the run and then they can blitz off of that. So he's somebody who might be a sneaky pick there, but I like Sonny Styles here.
Yeah, I mean Lamonte David is also super old. I don't know if he might not even play next year.
The Jets, with the pick they got from the Colts for Sauce Gardner, Jets need everything on the roster.
Ty Simpson.
You think? You think they could go tie it in 16?
Never know.
I do like Ty. I like Ty more than most people. I haven't really seen him talked about at this spot, but I think it is on the board for sure.
I mean, if Ty impresses at the combine, again, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, who a lot of people are taking Ty to go to, why are you taking a quarterback this year when you have Aaron Rodgers and you have Will Howard and next year's loaded? That's my thing. So if Ty impresses the combine, I do think he's going to be okay. Garrett Nussmeier, same thing. Like that's a guy who could move up. I don't think he's a first round pick, obviously. But if you like Ty and you need a quarterback, I think this would be the spot for the Jets to take him.
The only counter to that is why don't the Jets just get, hypothetically, let's just say they get Caleb Banks or Cassius Howell, get another really high draft pick, and then pick a quarterback next year.
You could do that too. But you need a quarterback this year at some point. I don't think it's worth bringing Kyler Murray in.
That would probably be, that ruins the plan too. If you bring in Kyler Murray, then you're probably not picking in the top 5 next year.
Yeah, he sucks though. You're picking top 10.
He's not good, but you're not going to have the pick.
No, for sure. But you still need to be respectable with a quarterback this year.
But that sounds to me like they might just go sign, like Kirk Cousins or someone like that.
Which, again, I think you're in better shape with Kirk Cousins than you are with Kyler Murray.
So what are we doing with this pick here? For me, I would probably, we had them taking Arvell Reese in the first round. So that's their, it depends on where they want to play him, but he could end up playing edge rusher for them. Yeah, I like Avion Terrell a lot. You lost Sauce Gardner. I would be looking at Terrell or Cassius Howell for me.
Probably Terrell. Got to replace the cornerback, defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go Terrell. Yeah.
Okay, that works. The Lions, they need help on the offensive line. Also, someone to complement Hutchinson.
The offensive line. They need to go offensive line here for sure.
So if we go to the tackles, Caden Proctor is the pick.
Yeah. What does the interior guys look like? Because
there you go. Well, here, I'll take tackles out of it.
Yeah, I'd go Proctor.
Yeah. Okay. Caden Proctor goes to the Lions. The Vikings at number 18. They're in they got to get younger at running back. Harrison Smith might retire, so safety could be a hole on the roster. A guy that I like that's been getting some picking up steam, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren from Toledo. I don't know if he's going to end up going in the first round, but I think he could be good for them. Who else we got here? They got defensive linemen. They don't need receivers.
I think center.
But who's gonna? The top ranked center is Connor Liu.
So go guard and bump him inside. Yeah, go guard and bump him inside. Like I think the biggest thing you have to do is protect your quarterback. So I think you need to draft based on your team rather. I mean, ADP is at 22.4. You're getting
you're asking him to learn a new position.
Yeah, but guys can move inside and you should be expected to play center, or you can get a center in free agency, take a guard. Like there's a lot you can do there, but I think quarterback's your number one priority. There's also still a chance Jeremiah Love is on the board here at 18.
There is a chance if the running back falls.
Slim chance, but Jeremiah Love could still be on the board here.
Okay, we'll go Ola. So the Panthers,
the Vikings had more of an offensive problem than a defensive problem last year.
For sure. Yeah. So I know it says wide receivers in need right here, but with Tet and Coker, I think they're fine. I'm willing to ignore that. Defensive line does need some work. If Sonny Styles is on the board, that would be a phenomenal pick for them. I don't think he's going to be here. I think it's got to be one of these two guys, Cassius Howell or Kedrick Falk, and I would go Cassius Howell.
Yeah, Cassius Howell.
Get some pass rushing juice in there. The Cowboys in the pick with the Packers or from the Packers, they got in the Micah Parsons deal. So again, running back, but you're really not taking a running back in the first round if it's not Jeremiah Love. Linebacker, Sonny Styles off the board. I think edge rusher does make sense because you got to replace Micah Parsons. And with how much they've struggled kind of defending the run, Keldrick Falk as, again, this kind of run specialist edge player kind of makes sense for them.
Yeah, for sure. You need defensive help. I mean, your offense lit the world on fire last year. You got to replace Parsons. You added to your defense very well from that pick. So I think you just keep building up the defense. If the Cowboys had a good defense this year, they would have been a contender in the NFC.
So we get to the Steelers, and are we giving them Ty Simpson or not?
Everyone, a lot of mock drafts, not all the mock drafts, but there's a lot of mock drafts sending Ty Simpson to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if Ty Simpson if he left school, he's leaving to be a first-round draft pick. So I think it's either the Jets or it's going to be the Steelers.
It would be the Jets. It would be the Steelers. The Browns at 24 makes sense, but everything they've done suggests they're not doing it. The only other one that I could see here would be like the Rams at 29 and just give them a year behind Stafford.
Yeah, potentially, because, I mean, you definitely can't. You probably can't go into next season with Stetson Bennett as the guy.
Maybe the Niners. What if they did that? What if they replaced Brock Purdy?
I don't think so. You hate Brock Purdy. So, yeah, okay. I think Rams is definitely a lot. He's got to go in the first round. He wouldn't have left school if he's not. So I think you got to send him in the first round.
So which one of these teams then are we sending him to?
You know what? Rams. Send him to the Rams at 29.
I like that. I'm down with that. So we're on the Steelers here. DK Metcalf needs somebody opposite him. Defensive back, you're young back there. You could be getting better. It's a new era as well with Mike McCarthy, so we got to keep that in mind.
You got to replace George Pickens from a year ago. Like you're missing that other impact wide receiver.
So you got Denzel Boston, who's 6'4", if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 6'4". And then you have Casey Conception, who's your smaller, like 5'11", more moving around a little bit more.
I like Concepcion. I do.
I do too. So we want to put him in Pittsburgh. Yeah. The Chargers at 22. Knowing Harbaugh, offensive line obviously makes sense, and especially considering what just happened to your quarterback last year. According to these rankings, you would be reaching if you went up and drafted an interior guy. The other option is building the defensive line, and both Caleb Banks and Kaden McDonald are sitting here, and that also fits the Harbaugh approach. So
offensive line. You can't have what happened to your quarterback last year. Go tackle, bump a tackle inside. I mean, like
Lomu played left tackle and right tackle before, so he does have some versatility. But we do have to remember that Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater will be back this year.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference.
I would think Caleb Banks would be the pick here.
All right, take Caleb Banks. Yeah.
Eagles, I think with Goddard being a free agent and how heavily their offense flowed through him in the red zone, Kenyon Sadiq would make sense. A.J. Brown might want out. Maybe a little bit more pass rushing juice as well. I think the Eagles have options.
I'd go Kenyon Sadiq here.
I'm down with that. The Browns, for their second pick of the first round, they already picked Mekhi Lemon at number 6. So maybe some offensive line help in this spot.
Yep. Then you'd go Caleb there.
So, okay. So we'll grab Lomu for the Browns. The Bears, their defense forced a lot of turnovers, but like just actually down to down, they were pretty terrible. Run defense was especially terrible. So I know they have Kaden McDonald ranked above Lee Hunter, but I love Lee Hunter, and I think he would be a good pick here.
I'm down for that. I'm down for Lee Hunter there. Bill's got to go wide receiver, 26, I think.
Denzel Boston, obvious. Right?
Yeah, definitely. You need, or unless you go in free agency and get that, but
the 49ers, so receivers for sure, pass rushing, someone on the back end, but McNeil Warren actually is still on the board here, and he's a sleeper at a spot like this.
I mean, they could benefit in a lot of areas. I think defense, because you just don't. I mean, that was a big issue for San Francisco. I know it was because of injuries.
Yeah, they're getting Nick Bosa back. They're getting Mykel Williams back. They're getting Fred Warner back. So if you do go someone on defense, it would be a safety. I think it would have to be McNeil Warren then, because he's the best one.
Yeah, and his draft stock could rise up.
So we'll grab him there. The Texans, they've got the defense. Let's look at offensive line.
They also need receivers too. Like, I know it doesn't say they need a receiver there, but they need somebody.
I mean, they need Nico Collins to be healthy first and foremost, but they drafted 2 guys in the second round last year.
Yeah, and I guess you had Kirk, and I just felt like they had no explosiveness.
I think it's just because CJ Stroud was so erratic.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would feel wrong to add to their defense because they've got so many guys over there.
You can't add to the defense. Running back? Who's a running back?
No. Yeah, it's not worth it. So, yeah, I think it's got to be offensive line. And the tackles are just better than the interior guys. So you would be hoping someone goes to the combine and performs well. I'm down to pick Pregnan and just say this is under the assumption that the things look good at the combine. If he doesn't perform well, then they would have to reconsider.
Yeah, I like that.
The Rams, we said we were sending them Ty Simpson, which I like a lot. The Broncos, I think you have to support Bo Nix.
Yeah, I'd go center.
Well, again, we center makes sense, but there's not a guy really there. Like
running back then.
If we just look at kind of the positions to help out the quarterback, this is what we're left with. None of which are all that enticing.
Tight end. Like Stowers makes sense there.
He does. They might trade back if they have an interest in him.
I can see them trading back.
The only other position, because Alex Singleton and Sternad, they're both free agents. So maybe they could go with one of these guys, CJ Allen or Anthony Hill.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference of these two? I'm an Anthony Hill
I like
guy.
Anthony Hill. I've always liked Anthony Hill.
Yeah, okay. The Patriots, I keep
Tackle.
moving around the page, I'm sorry.
Offensive line.
Offensive line.
Tackle.
Gotta be Freeling of these.
Freeling, yeah.
Yep.
And
then the Seahawks.
You're going to do that. You're going to kick somebody inside and kick somebody out.
The Seahawks are losing Josh Jobe. Well, they're not losing, but their free agents are Josh Jobe, Kobe Bryant, Reek Woolen, Kenneth Walker. Trying to remember if there are other big ones. They're not losing a lot, but they are losing guys on the back end.
Probably CJ Allen, Neil linebacker.
CJ Allen works here. Cisse works here. Akeem Mesidor, I'm surprised that he's fallen this far in our rankings. He is 25 years old, so that it makes sense, but I'm down to go with CJ Allen.
Yeah, let's do CJ Allen.
And then this is what we are left with. Let me see if I can zoom out so we can get everybody. That's what we're left with.
I like it.
I like it. Solid. And things can change so quickly too that, 2 weeks from now, this might look horrible.
Yeah. I mean, combine, free agency, it all makes a difference.